Is No Man's Sky being developed with Project Morpheus and Oculus Rift in mind? Here on Cobra TV. So I've seen a lot of this being asked in the comments section, and I figured I'd bring it back up. These are pictures and video clips that I had in a video back in September. It is obvious that Hello Games has been working with Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus for some time now. It's been seen all around their studio, and we've even got the video clips of them using it. I'm not entirely sure if they're using it with No Man's Sky, but when Sean Murray was recently asked about VR support, he said this. So whether they are actually playing No Man's Sky in these video clips is unknown, but it is fact and it is confirmed that Sean Murray has been working with Morpheus and Oculus Rift, and he's pretty excited about it. But it looks like it depends on Sony getting the Project Morpheus, working properly and get it out there and ready to sell at retail. And an article written back in December 10th, 2014 stated the current iteration of Project Morpheus is a prototype design for PS4 developers to work with, which Sony says is the result of 3 years worth of work. The actual consumer product, which you will be able to plug into your consoles at home, isn't expected to hit shops until next year, at the very least. So with no real actual confirmation on when Project Morpheus is going to be released, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that No Man's Sky will not be bundled at launch with Project Morpheus. But I guarantee you at some time down the road when Project Morpheus does release, hopefully sometime this year, that they would do a No Man's Sky bundle with it. But if Sony and Hello Games is planning for a late fall release, then it is possible to think that No Man's Sky at launch could be bundled with Project Morpheus. But as far as release dates go, I really have spring pegged for the release of No Man's Sky. It's not confirmed, and I hope I'm right, but I could be wrong. And I just wanted to flash real quick on the screen that a lot of you have already seen, but there's a lot of new people that probably have not watched a lot of my videos, but the inside of a trader cockpit. And I believe this is a trader, judging by the windows, but it's really cool to be able to see out of another cockpit of a different class of ship, because so far we've only seen the inside of a fighter ship. And looking at this one and then judging some of the other trader windows that we've seen, we can kind of get a good idea of what some of the other cockpits would look like from the other designs. But this footage is very early development. As you see, the freighter ship or whatever that is out the window there looks like it's low rendered, more like a 3D model rather than a finished complete product. So this, with the dashboard looking exactly the same, maybe the dashboard will change. Maybe they don't want us to see different designs of the dashboards. But either way, it's really cool to see the inside of another ship. Also, I have decided to upload one Cobra Cast a month on this channel. I will be doing the first upload of that in about a week or so, and then after that, every first of the month. It will be unrelated to No Man's Sky, but it will only be one upload a month at first. The No Man's Sky news every 3 to 4 days, and every 3 to 5 here lately, will always continue. It will not stop. This is a No Man's Sky channel, but I would like to have a one show a month Cobra Cast podcast where we talk about just cool games that are in development. There's one really cool game that I came across that I don't think a whole lot of people know, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Also, not a lot of fan art this week, but I do cherish every single one of you guys that did send in fan art. If I forgot to put yours in here, message me. I also had a wonderful time talking to James Mayer, one of my subscribers on YouTube. And we do go a bit off topic, but it was really fun talking to him. I love the guy. And I love every one of you guys. If you want to get on the show, just add me on Skype and we'll try and work out a good time. If it's hard to get a hold of me, just keep trying. There's nothing that you could do that would bug me or bother me. Until next time. Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Cobra?
What's going on, man?
Oh God, dude, I've been waiting for this for a very long time. This is awesome.
Yes, it is, dude. I've been waiting too.
This doesn't actually have a word that can describe it. I have to create a new word and then put it into the Webster's online and then explain all the terminology to it. Yeah.
Make sure you
it's gonna take a while.
Make sure you put it in Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, yeah. No, but that's why I told you earned the title of Awesome Necessity. That's a word that I created because you're awesome, and then also you're necessary. We need more people that are awesome like you in this
Thanks,
world.
dude. I appreciate that so much.
Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, I know I had put a comment on your latest video about Bloodborne being confirmed, but I wasn't really able to explain it properly, I feel, in text. But I was at GameStop the other day, and they'll give you a list when there's pre-orders.
Right.
Like things that are going to be pre-ordered, things that are going to be released. And they have it for the next 12 months, usually. So they have it going into 2016. And Bloodborne is in March. And usually, especially with, like, things get pushed back and everything, but things that are so close, like March is next month.
Right.
So if it's on there, it's most likely set in stone.
So
and
you actually think September is going to be the month for No Man's Sky?
No. See, that's the other thing that was in my comment, is that I didn't see anything on that list about No Man's Sky.
I see. Here's what I think. I think they just threw it on a random month, just to have it on the calendar, period, because it's a pivotal moment within the year.
Right, and I think they want to at least aim for this year, because they've been working on it for an entire year now, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So and
more than a year.
More than a year, yeah. And it's gotten a lot of attention since its Game Informer debut, when there was an article about it, and that's when I went nuts about it. And I haven't really been able to focus on anything else for the last 6 months, honestly.
Oh, me too. Funny fact that Cobra TV was actually going to be everything gaming. I don't know if you've seen my Cobra cast. Huh? Yeah.
I saw that when you started, and I got into Cobra TV around the time that you got into No Man's Sky.
Right.
And just like, okay, this is all right. This is all right. I like his point. I'm gonna see what he has, and you didn't have much at the time, and I was just like, okay, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden, I noticed you just keep doing more videos about No Man's Sky, and some of your other projects that you had announced, they disappeared, and I'm just like, oh, well, now he's just doing No Man's Sky. Okay, this is good. This is good stuff here.
I started doing No Man's Sky videos, and I really wasn't taking it seriously with my first 3 videos. And
yeah, of course.
But then I'm thinking to myself, I love this game. Why treat it, with such carelessness? And let's take step back, look at it, and try and treat it with as much respect as I can.
Yeah, I mean, if you truly respect it within your heart and share that with the world, share your passion, don't just go half-assed on it, because, if you love it so much, then why shouldn't the rest of the world love it as well?
Right. Yeah.
Give them the opportunity, give them the right information. I don't know if I really saw those videos. I might have gotten into Cobra TV a little probably just around the time you were getting a passion for it, but I do remember a couple of videos where you were analyzing information about like the combat system in the ship and things, and I think you kind of jumped the gun on things, and then you made up for that in another video. But I remember you getting irritated with like the combat, the weapon systems on the ship, and you're talking about how like you didn't really have to aim precisely and everything, and you're like, oh, come on, guys. Like,
yeah.
And I was just like, I understand the whole, we want a challenge to it. We don't want everybody to just be able to play it. We don't want it to seem like a handicapped kids game. Of course not.
Yeah.
Like, don't undermine the great project that's here. But I noticed it's like you must have been going through something in your life at that time, because you were so calm and collected over everything else until that point. I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But why is he getting angry? Just wait, be a little more open-minded. Calm down.
Right. Yeah. I've changed a lot, and I tell you, the subscribers and the game itself have changed me into a lot, a better person. I'm not the same negative person that I used to be. I've actually, it's gonna sound stupid, but it's been therapeutic, and I've changed.
Your show has been therapeutic for me. I mean, come on, I've been addicted to the whole everything that No Man's Sky was ever since I discovered it. I've been addicted to it, and I actually, like, your show's been like, every video's been a fix for me. Like, oh, new information, old information, it's still good. Yeah. It's still good though.
That's stressful. Like when I upload a video and I don't have brand new info, and I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like this. Oh no.
Trust me, they're gonna like it. Unfortunately, we're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Damn you, Cobra. It's all your fault.
All right, so cool, man. What are you most excited about with No Man's Sky?
Oh, dude, honestly, it's probably got to be just the pure 100% no barred, complete freedom of exploration.
Right.
That, honestly, with the video footage that we've seen, when they're flying into the planet, it doesn't look big. It doesn't look like you could spend years on one planet. There's some sort of weird like perspective differential that I see there. Like when you're flying into the planet and everything, once you hit the atmosphere, it's like you kind of go through. It's almost like you go through a loading point, because you can't see anything through that atmosphere that you're entering.
Right.
And then the world's like all of a sudden so much bigger, and as you get closer to the ground, everything gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's all perspective.
Right.
But it's like I'm wondering, how fast are we flying through the atmosphere? Because I know that in most sci-fi films you can't, and even science, they'll tell you that you can't fly directly down into the atmosphere. You have to go at an angle. You can't put too much. The atmosphere will burn the craft apart, like in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem like that's a factor.
No.
But I'm wondering that how fast are you flying? Because it seems like it only takes a few seconds to get through the atmosphere and down to the planet, whereas everybody's always reporting that it's only a few minutes. And I would like a few minutes. A few minutes seems more realistic, but
I agree
how fast
with
are you flying? A few seconds. They go right into the atmosphere, and then you got to pull up or you're going to hit the ground. Because
I agree with you. He did say that sometimes it's going to vary depending on your speed and maybe the size.
Probably
of the
depending on the atmosphere that's on the planet. The size of the planet's probably going to have a thicker atmosphere, or the different elements that come into play. Like, how old is that planet? Like, does it have a breathable atmosphere if we ever come into contact with anything like that?
Yeah, so I think we're going to see differences. The planet that he went to,
our moon here, Earth's moon, doesn't even really have an atmosphere.
Right.
So like there's no atmosphere. It's just kind of a rock floating out there keeping orbit. So like there's got to be planets out there that come into play like that. There's no life on the planet. Well, there's a reason why. There's no atmosphere that it can breathe. It's still just a vacuum.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead. Continue.
No, it's okay. The trailer where he flies onto the planet that has the portal on it.
Yeah.
When he goes through that atmosphere, that has a bigger. It's a tiny bit longer than when he goes on Solith Prime.
Yeah.
And I didn't really notice that until, I don't know, it was about last week, and I was watching the footage, and it does take just a tad bit longer than what it did when he was entering Solith Prime. So I think there is going to be differences. And we haven't seen too many planets, as it is, so we really can't.
We've only seen what the devs team, what area of the galaxy the dev team is in.
Right.
Like they're showing the reason why. That's what pisses me off about everybody that's all knocking the game, saying, "Oh, look at this, look at that, blah blah blah." I'm like, dude, did you not listen to the first part when it said that the devs are going to release the game and there's still going to be a whole lot of content they don't even know about? It's
exactly.
Because they sent AI bots out, but like, how far can they send an AI bot out if it's running at real time? Is it running on like the creator? Because if you've seen the video that they interview Sean Murray about how the technology behind No Man's Sky works, he shows everything through basically an editor's camera view, an editor's movement. So right. Like with Minecraft, you've got creator mode. When you go into creator, you can fly, and you can fly real fast. If you double tap on the stick forward, you'll fly really fast through there. So he can he showed that the speed at which players will probably be traveling compared to the speed at which he could actually travel, where he zoomed out of the planet in a matter of milliseconds, just gone. And that was just basically his editor mode. He shows that. So there's got to be, I know we're not going to be able to travel that fast, because with how fast he was traveling, he was showing how the world was trying to keep up on its updating.
Right, and it wasn't able to.
Around you.
Yeah. And
it wasn't able to at that speed. So of course we're not going to be able to fly that fast. Oh, well, about the flight control, I noticed that in the videos, the flight control looks like a lot of yaw and a lot of yaw for the turning, rather than banking and then pitching the nose up to turn like you would in a regular. Now, out in space, that wouldn't really matter because there's no gravity, there's no vacuum, there's no gases around you, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But in a planet's atmosphere, it doesn't matter what planet it is, if there's an atmosphere, there's got to be some sort of gravity. If there's life on it, there's gravity.
Right.
So, you'd have to bank, and realistically, you'd have to bank the plane and pull up on the nose, pitch it up so that you could turn, because if you don't, you'd put too much stress on the craft and you could break it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably not going to be something that comes into play even with semi-realistic flight simulators. If you're familiar with Ace Combat, I followed the entire series. I'm an ace. I think when the Ace Combat Infinity beta came out, I was one out of only a couple. I don't know how many people played the game, but I would estimate probably only 100,000 of us, probably, or something in the 100,000s, were
right.
People that actually got to rank 1. They got ranked all the way up through the beta. And that's like the only beta I excelled at ever. So, and it seems like, okay, a lot of people like the Assault Horizon, and that's like Call of Duty people coming over to Battlefield and complaining about the game or something. Like, it's like, that wasn't Ace Combat. That wasn't. So, with the same thing as I'm used to that, to a semi-realistic flight simulator, and I'd like to see that in No Man's Sky, if at least somewhat, because I don't like the just yawing on the plane, just turning at a level, and being able to turn like that reminds me of a game that has a flight part in it, like Ratchet and Clank and stuff, but it's not based around that, so they don't put a lot of really anything into it. You just kind of fly this toy plane around and shoot stuff. Like, I don't like that.
A good example of how you can fly No Man's Sky is on the trailer where he's on Solith Prime, and the other footage that did not make it into that trailer when he was on Solith Prime. He actually barrel rolls.
I remember that. That was like the original trailer.
Yeah.
I remember him barrel rolling, but I'm wondering,
But did you see
yeah.
that major angled, like he was flying straight, and then when those AI wingmen, they just took straight up into the air, and he did the same thing and followed them.
Yeah, and then pitched upward.
Yeah, majorly pitched upward, like really quick.
Yeah, major. So I mean, it seems like that's probably. I guess your flights. The flight controls will depend on how you choose to control the craft. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it seems like, yeah, you can bank. I mean, he only did one little barrel roll, and he did it over a mountain, which came very close to the mountain, which also brings me to another point, is I was wondering if we know what happens if we crash our craft. Like, do we sustain a lot of damage from that?
I don't know how the damage system works, but I do know that you can crash it. Like, he's mentioned doing stupid tricks and then crashing your ship. And so I do know that you can lose it that way. I just don't know if you can get small damage, and get away with,
like a skirting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, because I noticed like when he's flying through the asteroid field outside of a planet, and he starts shooting through an asteroid and making a hole through it, it looks like he's not going to fit through that hole.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually edited. It shows going through it, but I think it's really edited because it seems like there's one little piece of an asteroid still floating and he hits that directly, and then the wings get taken off
you could tell it's edited because
you can tell that he didn't make it through that hole.
No, he didn't make it. No.
So I'm wondering though also, is when you crash, does it crash realistically or does it just show, oh, you're dead kind of screen? I'm wondering, what if it zooms out to a third-person camera angle and shows your craft just go into a blazing effect and just explode or something, or like when you see other ships you shoot down. I wonder if that same effect, if you get shot down and you see that, or do you stay in the cockpit until it barrel rolls? And then because they also talked about the life pod ship, so is that like an ejection system that maybe plays automatically? You blast out of the ejection system and see your craft explode and all your resources scatter or whatnot.
I actually think it's just a respawn mechanism. You just die and then you're just in this crappy ship. Have you seen the picture that I posted of that ship?
Yeah, I've seen that. That looks like a crappy ship and everything, but that also could be level 1 of a recon ship, I think. No weapon systems, nothing like that. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's equipped for hyperspace.
No, not at all.
But yeah, it at least they made the crappy ship look cool.
Yeah, it does.
Still got it looks. I'm sure that concept design of that ship, being that it had skis on it like a helicopter.
Yeah,
I'm sure that it probably doesn't fly very fast, but that concept drawing or that concept art right there, the only color differential was the cockpit was black, but the rest of it was gray. So I think that was a baseline prototype scale drawing, essentially.
No, it's actually them creating a 3D model for the game.
Well, yeah, 3D model of it, but they hadn't colored it yet. I don't think it's going to be primer. No,
it's not going to be. They're going to put textures to it and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but, it's not going to look like that in the finished product. It does not look like a trader, fighter, or explorer. It has no benefits to it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a stripped down. Haha, you look like a noob now, and better rebuild from there.
Well, it's a good thing that it's not going to actually. In that aspect, it's kind of a good thing that we're going to be alone. There's no one to judge us. Maybe the dinosaurs be like, ha, see, that's what you get for trying to kill my race.
Wouldn't it be funny, though, if you were flying by a bunch of alien animals and they all just looked at you and started laughing?
Yeah, that would be great. You just like run their noises through the translator and it comes out, ha, 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 LOL.
You're just sitting there flying by them saying, shut up.
ROFL. I didn't even know that creature could roll on the floor laughing. Okay, well, all right. So with my next point, or to finish off that point of the flight controls, I would hope that there would be a flight control customization. I hope that there's going to be control customization in general, because when you're looking at an indie game, and they've only worked on the Joe Danger series, which I've seen some footage from that. I've never played the game, but it looks like, it's a stuntman simulator kind of thing. So you're driving along a sort of side-scrolling kind of feature.
Right, but it's a good thing because they used a lot of gravity and physics in that game, so they really know what they're doing when they're making an aircraft and how they want it to fly. They're really experienced in that aspect.
Okay, that's good. Even though it was from a third person's perspective, but what else could it be? I mean, with everybody talking about the building like bases and things like that, what I thought would be kind of cool with that is, what if I'm not looking forward to that to being a thing in the beginning of the game. We can get to this later, building stuff. But it would be cool to build fully operational bases with an AI-controlled resource gathering of drones and things of exploration and stuff. So like you go to another planet and then your AIs will be working. You'll have your own AIs working on that planet, discovering things, gathering resources for you. And you could basically kind of start building up things. So there'd be like kind of a RTS in 3D to it, in a sense, because there's the exploration and everything, but I know Sean Murray doesn't want us to spend the entire game on one planet.
Exactly.
He doesn't want us to go out and explore, but what if we, that would come in handy if we could, set up a civilization or a colony of something, there, because we want to go out and explore the rest of the universe, but in the perspective of a completionist, I am a completionist, and I don't like to leave anything behind. I'm in trouble. I don't want to leave anything behind. And then there's also that thing where it would be safer for AI drones to go out and collect resources for you, being that the malevolent force, and I have my own theory on that those robots come out and attack you if they see you collecting resources because you're causing destruction. And so it'd be better if an AI drone went out there and got killed and lost all the stuff it was carrying before it got back to its base than you, because you have to start all over back at wherever your ship landed.
Yeah, and see that those are cool ideas, really cool. But I think, he wants to see the core of the game played out.
Yeah,
see his dream fulfilled. And
that is what I want. I want to see his dream before he starts working on our dreams.
Right. So I'm really
because this game is already a dream of mine. Yeah. This game is already a dream of mine. It's been a dream ever since. I think it's really been a dream ever since anybody has seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or since anybody has affiliated and taken a side between Star Wars or Star Trek. We've all wanted to see this game.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm looking for these updates not to come until at least a year.
Yeah. Give us some time to explore. And then when they come up, we can go back to the planets that we've claimed, that we've discovered, and set up shop there.
Yeah.
But I think before we start setting up shop, because it seems like we'd be starting a mining business in a sense, then we would need to have, I wouldn't say just want, I would say need to have somewhat of a basic understanding of the universe that we're in. We need to get that down pat before we start, building on things and stuff like that.
Exactly, I agree.
Now along that, I would actually like to see later on an update with the space station. Now they say you can attack the space stations and it lowers their quality and stuff, but who would want to do that? You're relying on those space stations for your ship, for your quality.
Well, there's going to be some people that are going to want to, you're leaving it behind. You're like, screw the next player. I'm going to destroy this, lower the rating on this space station.
We're going to have all sorts of different psychological states of players in our game. But my one of my ideas is investment in space stations for resource tycoons, and that'd be along the lines of because there's people that are going to want to do resource collection. They're going to be like, I have all the resources, I have all the power kind of thing. People are going to start doing freighters and stuff. They're going to focus on resource collection and discovery and everything. And I honestly, with the game Mass Effect 2, I did that. That's what I did. The first thing I did was I got millions and millions in resources so that when I went through the game, I could afford all my upgrades without having to go and collect more resources, because it was very tasking and boring.
Right.
But I got very good at it. And that was fun with what they could do in that universe. But that would be a cool thing I'd like to be able to do. It's like you get enough get enough money, or say that you help out a faction of AI that are affiliated as a security force with a certain space station, then you become popular, and then they start, being allied with you. What if you could invest in them as a and then basically, I'm sure that these AIs are going to be, we see the different drones that are going around the planet and stuff. I'm sure they're probably doing resource collection for the AI itself.
I got a different theory on that. I think the drones are part of the Guardian robots. I think so. They are in places where the robots can't travel. Because we all know that they're two-legged, they're giant, and there's going to be places that, they may not be able to get to. And as we know, the Guardian robots are not procedurally generated. There's a few models of them, and they are all the same. So if you look at the drones and every trailer, none of the drones are different. They're all exactly the same as each other.
Well, that would make sense. It's like, once you find an optimal design, why would you go with variety? Yeah. That's pretty much how a machine would probably think, an AI would think, Yeah. But they're not procedurally generated, but are they AI controlled, or are they programmed NPC? They said there's not going to be any programmed NPC. There's going to be basically programmed AI, but it's AI, so it's supposed to learn, but it's supposed to be shackled. Right?
I think Sean Murray maybe tripped over some words. When he's thinking of NPCs, when he was asking the Game Informer, he said, I don't think people want a shop owner saying, hey, welcome to my shop. I think that's his line of thinking when it comes to NPCs, because generally thinking the Guardian robots, those are technically NPCs.
Yeah.
So us thinking that we may not see aliens getting out of their ship and then getting back in, that might be possible. He might not be.
Okay. So basically, see, what I've seen from the footage so far, I mean, that's all we can really go off of. I don't see those ships coming in and anybody hopping out. And they come in, drop their load, and then they take off again.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Handled. There's nothing really there. And then we haven't seen really going into any markets or anything like that. We've seen being in a hangar and getting your ship and taking off like the speed of light, it seems, or at least Mach 1 or something like that. But we don't really see how do you interact with buying a ship. I guess that's one of the things we're just going to have to find out for ourselves.
You just in my opinion, you walk into a kiosk and then
maybe it might be a kiosk, or you walk up to a ship itself, because they said that if the ship flies away, then it's not available anymore. I'm like, well, with a kiosk, wouldn't it be in a system, like a log?
Not if it flies away, it probably just disappears from the data. I don't know. But there's two things we have to remember when we're talking about the NPCs and nothing being in the ships. Is one of the major things is he doesn't want to show us or tell us everything. He wants to keep it a secret. And the number two reason is every trailer that we've seen so far is from an unfinished game. Yeah. Normally, when we see trailers like from Watch Dogs or Destiny, we're seeing the finished game,
Yeah, and but with Destiny, you're talking about, you just brought up two games that I loathe.
Oh, me too. I brought them
with
up.
Destiny, though, is when they were showing us the videos, and I was hyped about Destiny. And I was referring everybody to the 40-minute what we know so far Destiny thing, and it was really disappointing, because what we saw in the finished game of that, they then cut a bunch of content from it and sold us an unfinished game, even though we had footage. Like the blink ability was not supposed to just jump straight up. It was supposed to blink from one point to another, like the blink ability in Dishonored.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a blink is supposed to be. Who needs to jump from being on the ground to only 10 feet above your head? Who needs to do that instantly? Projectiles we're not trying to avoid projectiles that are traveling really fast, because those are just bullets, and none of the enemy's projectiles actually travel that fast. What the hell are we doing? There's no friendly fire. Why do we need to jump like that? It's just disorienting. It's just felt like I was in a glitch pattern.
Yeah, true.
Felt like Portal or something. It's just what the hell? And
Yep.
that was really disappointing. I'm like, that's the last upgrade to your jump, and nobody wants to use it. Then people use it on Crucible, and they lag out the game because it's too fast.
Yeah. But that's the important thing to realize is that, you know, none of the trailers are from a finished game. It's actually from a pre-alpha footage, you know?
Right.
So
Like pre-alpha. Like, what I want to know about alphas is how come I never see them pop up? Is that just for, like, people that are aspiring developers that are interested in a game that they get on the alpha? Because my friend Julian's not a developer. He got on the alpha of Destiny way, way back before they even announced anything from it.
No, I mean, I played alphas
it's very hard to kill enemies and everything.
I played alphas before, and H1Z1 is actually an alpha, and I play that.
And that's actually advertised.
Yeah.
I didn't know H1Z1 was an alpha. I thought that game was like released.
No, it's an alpha. It is released, but it's an alpha. You have to pay to get in, even though it's a free-to-play game. But you're paying for early access to test the game and give feedback.
So in alphas, do you usually deal with like a lot of bugs and stuff?
Tons.
Like betas?
Tons.
So more than betas?
Oh yeah, a lot more.
Okay. All right. So do you think? I don't think we're going to see an alpha for No Man's Sky though.
Oh no, nope.
Because he's already stated.
He's already stated that he's going to release a full game. No.
Yeah, I don't want a beta. It just promised. Really, betas like the beta for Battlefield 4 was so loaded full of bugs, it was crashing everyone's PS3s.
Yeah.
Like our shit would freeze, and we had to hard reset like multiple times a day just to play the game. And I'm like, this can't be good for the file system because it has to keep checking the file system.
Right.
And I know if you ever had a PS3, if anybody's ever had a PS3, they know that when it crashes in the file system, you don't really always have to check, like let it check the file system. It usually just takes a bunch of time to find nothing wrong.
Exactly.
But what happens if that one time you decide to skip it and there is something wrong with the file system?
You're right.
I don't want to see a beta on a game of this scale, because also another thing with betas that bother me is that you anticipate a game so much, and then you see the beta, and then you have a bunch of crap to complain about the game, and that basically holds you over until the game's released, and then they don't fix anything.
Yeah, you're
wow.
right, dude.
Okay, you know
they make their money. They make their money, and then they just say, we're not going to finish it.
Yeah, they make their money, a lot of their money off the beta, the revenue that gets generated by the beta. They make tons of that because the advertisement of it, and then people talking about it and everything on Facebook, and Facebook makes tons of it of revenue on it, and we never get any of that.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to talk about is, okay, the fan art that I was creating, the little 9-second video that I sent you to show you what I was creating.
Right.
I need help with it, and I'm wondering if there's any people out there playing Minecraft that would like to help me with this fan art, because what I did was I had started it on a super flat world, and there's a lot more to this fan art than what you've seen. It's not going to be just that YouTube page that I created.
Right.
I still have to finish that, and I haven't worked on it since I sent you the video, because what I want to create is it's too vast for me to do by myself, and I'd rather have people help me with it and deliver an excellent, massive piece of art rather than a half-assed one. But it's going to be as much of a surprise to you, Cobra, as I hope it would be a surprise to Sean Murray and the dev team. I hope they get to see it too. But I need people to join me on PlayStation 4, on Minecraft, and help me build. And I'm willing to let them put their own style and touch to this the latter part of what I'm creating. But essentially, I need people to help me build an environment. And how the YouTube page is going to tie into that environment is going to be really cool. But I need people to help me, so I'm willing to share my PS4, my PSN, so that you guys can add me and come and help me if you wish.
Okay, so
it would be nice. It basically this would, if people are going to help me, then it's going to be a community, a Cobra TV community fan art project.
Guys, if you want to help out,
that's probably going to be better than saying it, because when you hear my PSN ID, you're going to laugh your ass off, and then you're going to want me to explain why, because everybody asks.
So if anybody out there is listening, if you want to help him out, go ahead and add him up on PSN and start chatting with him.
Thank you. All right, so yep, I've been waiting for this for a long time. This was awesome. Thank you, Cobra.
Hey, thank you, buddy. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Please keep doing what you're doing. You're doing everything fine.
All right, bro. You have a good day, man.
You too. Actually, what do you mean have a good day? You made my day good.
Well, I hope it stays good for you, bro.
I'm sure it will. I avoid drama. People can't get me down.
Stay awesome, dude.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.